Hey guys, Baos and Ramos, and today we're previewing the Miami Dolphins at the Buffalo Bills. It's looking a little grim for the Miami Dolphins, starting off 0-2. Meanwhile, the Bills riding a real high right now, being 2-0, facing the Baltimore Ravens. Got a big comeback win in Week 1. Week 2, steamrolled the New York Jets, so things are looking on the up for the New York Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Miami Dolphins, virtually got shut out Week 1, and then Week 2 had a roller coaster of a game and did not come out on top. And the offense sputtered there late in that one against the New England Patriots. So things are not looking so great for the Miami Dolphins. People are requesting for Chris Greer and Mike McDaniel to get fired. I'm the type of person that likes to wait and see these type of things out, but I can understand why some fans are really getting upset and just waiting for this to happen. And the estimation is if the Dolphins lose this one and lose it bad, Mike McDaniel will not be on the coaching staff starting Friday morning. So let's see if he even makes it to the bus after this one. It's tough to tell. Right now, we're going to go into the gambling lines. Right now, Buffalo Bills are heavily favored at -11.5 at home. Meanwhile, Miami Dolphins are underdogs in terms of money line at +550. Bills favored at -900 and over/under set at 50.5. So not really favorable for the Miami Dolphins here in terms of the gambling lines, but if you are an optimist for the Miami Dolphins, taking the +11.5 on the spread might not be a bad one, but I would not recommend doing that. As we always do, let's talk about some injuries. I'm only going to be updating it from the most recent injuries, from this Week 2 game to now this upcoming Week 3 game. And for opposing teams, I'm just going to try to give as much of a concise injury report, but mostly it's going to be within the last 2 weeks. We're going to start off with the Miami Dolphins, who have Benito Jones, defensive tackle, is questionable with an oblique injury. Ifeatu Melifuanu, safety, is out with a calf injury. Storm Duck is out with an ankle injury. Jalen Waddle is questionable for shoulder injury. Darren Waller, tight end, is out with a hip injury. Chop Robinson, linebacker, is questionable with a knee injury. Austin Jackson, guard, is on injured reserve with a toe injury. And that's pretty much it from the Week 2 injuries that have been updated. Now for the Buffalo Bills, we have Taron Johnson, cornerback, is questionable with a quadriceps injury. Ed Oliver, defensive tackle, is out with an ankle injury. Matt Milano, linebacker, is out with a pectoral injury. And then they also have Shaq Thompson, linebacker, and Cam Lewis, cornerback, are questionable. Other notable guys who are injured for the Buffalo Bills is Tyler Bass, their kicker, is on injured reserve with a left hip/groin injury. And then we can also talk about Maxwell Harrison. It's a cornerback that they drafted in this past draft. He's on injured reserve to start off the year with a knee injury. Hopefully, at least for the Bills' sake, he gets to return relatively soon. Now, let's quickly talk about this matchup. The Dolphins, like I alluded to, their head coach Mike McDaniel is on the hot seat. So any bad performance right now for this Miami Dolphins team will not be favorable for him and his future as the head coach of the Fins. So either there's going to be a resounding performance from the team that wants him to stay around, or you're going to see a team that does not really care and wants to see this head coach on. So you're going to see one of those two type of Miami Dolphins. Now, let's talk about how the Miami Dolphins can win this Thursday night football game against the Buffalo Bills. They can come out and be one of the best offensive units that they've been so far this season. And if that's the case, then they might have a real good chance. They need to come out and score almost on every possession. I don't think that's realistic, but I will say they need to be very effective with the football and make their drives count. The more you can limit the Buffalo Bills from getting quick drives in and getting points on the board, the better it will be for the end result for this Miami Dolphins team and to avoid a 0-3 hole. Now, on the defensive side of the ball, I alluded to it last week, and I'm alluded to it again. The pass rush needs to be better. I know the secondary is not doing you any favors, and Josh Allen, with time, will dissect this Dolphins secondary. So what the pass rush needs to do is get there within the first 3 seconds of the snap. Otherwise, man, oh man, the Dolphins are going to go down, and they're going to go down fast. Last but not least, it just needs to be all about how this Dolphins defense can limit Josh Allen and all the hurt that he will put on him. When you have the reigning MVP looking like more of what he was last year, you want to limit that as much as possible. So hopefully the Dolphins defense can force some turnovers from Josh Allen, but right now it's looking unlikely. He hasn't had one yet this season, and I don't think he's going to suffer one to this really bad Dolphins secondary. So I don't think he's going to throw a pick, but hopefully if the Dolphins can somehow get a strip sack, I mean, I'm telling you, this whole game defensively will fall on the defensive line. So hopefully those guys can come out and perform. Hopefully Chop is fully healthy to go, and that will be a big contribution moving forward for this matchup. That pretty much sums it up. Hopefully the Dolphins come out and get a win. You know, as a fan, I'm always rooting for that, but the realist in me is telling me that the Dolphins are going to be in an 0-3 hole, and things will not look very bright for this team moving forward. And they may have an interim head coach in place. So if you guys think that's going to be a case, let me know who you guys would want as the interim head coach. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves, right? Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.